Hey everyone, Ken Scott, Senior U.S. Immigration Law Intelligence Analyst with www.usentry-waiver-services.com, and we resolve all of your USA border crossing issues. Had a bit of lunch today, and trying to think how can we get right into this topic. Got a call today from someone, and long story short, this person admitted to the border, told the border that they smoke, they do the, and the border found a card on this person. Now, this person, well, first of all, in these kind of cases, they have to be processed and prepared a certain kind of way. Certain things have to be added, certain things probably should not be added for the person's, for the client's best interest. Now, I'm not going to go into detail because I'm not giving the discount waiver companies anything they can use, like Batman's pardons and waivers, anything they can use to increase their business. And try to keep their lights on. You guys already know here, we're completely transparent here. I'm having lunch while discussing this very important thing. Now, we did one statement already where we talked about the purpose for the sworn statement. Guys, remember, the sworn statement is never done for your benefit. It's done for the benefit of the government. Now, if you use some logic here, what benefits the government doesn't benefit you. So what that means in simple English is, yeah, it benefits the CBP officer, but what benefits him does not benefit you. So you guys need to understand that. That officer, maybe he's a nice guy or whatever, or a nice girl, that's fine. But they are not there to be your friend. They are there to do their job, enforce their laws. And also another thing, they're there to actually, they have to keep their stats up. I'm a former American law enforcement officer, a former federal officer in Washington State. So we used to enforce these same laws that CBP is enforcing. So we know what they're going to do. We know how they're going to do. We know their techniques. We know the manuals they use. We know all that stuff already. We even have the adjudication sheets the CBP uses to decide whether they're going to approve a waiver or not. And I told you guys about this before, but those are in a special location. They're not online. So another thing I can really show you. Those are in paper format, and they're going to stay in paper format. You got all these hackers around and all this BS. Anyway, so the point is, you go to the border. Okay, Joe Smith goes to the border, and the border guard says, the CBP officer says, "How are you doing, sir?" Yada yada. So let's just say the officer finds some rolling papers in the car. Okay. So rolling papers with some kind of paraphernalia. Hell, could even be a grinder. So he finds the grinder or paraphernalia in the car. So he says, "Oh, what is this?" Now, if the grinder has residue in it, then he can technically get you for possession of marijuana, even if it's a crumb. It's still possession at the actual border. That he can burn you for. You're going to get burned either way, but he can definitely burn you for that. Then what he's going to do and go to a series of questioning, because in his mind, he already knows he's caught a fish. He caught a fish. So it's just a matter of how much can he get to make his case solid. And like I said, guys, remember what I said. What benefits him or her is not going to benefit you. So then the next thing he's going to do is try to get you to do a sworn statement. Ask you a series of questions, yada, yada. So I'm trying to figure out how can I say this. All I will say is those sworn statements are all voluntary. And I don't know, people are going to say, well, I felt like I had to answer, yada, yada, yada. Those statements are all voluntary, and it's in the wording of it, especially question number 2 or 3. It's in there. They're going to ask a question to get your permission to do the statement. Something like, are you willing or able to answer my questions at this time? And that's yes or no. I'm not going to tell you how to answer that because I'm not going to give the advice. But what happens is when you say yes, when you say yes, let's just say, he's going to ask you a series of questions. He's going to ask you about use. He might ask you stuff like about selling it, or did you ever provide it, or traffic. He won't use the word traffic because that'll freak you out. He'll trick you to say, well, did you ever sell it to anyone or give it to anyone for a feed or whatever? So, well, no, I never sold it, but I helped Johnny. Johnny sold it. Oh, well, what did you do? Well, I rolled around in the car, and when Johnny would make sales, Johnny gave me the money to hold on to. Okay, yeah, so yeah, he sold it, but you conspired with him. That's what he knows in his mind. He may or may not say that. And then basically, he's now got you for drug possession. He's going to ask you if you smoke. You'll probably say yes. And then once you say yes, he's got you for drug use. He's got you for possession, and he's got you for trafficking. And you guys got to remember, the way the immigration code is written, it's not necessarily convictions. It's what you voluntarily admit to. We've done videos on this topic. So when you go down to that border, and again, I'm not going to give any kind of advice whatsoever in that sense, but I'm just letting you guys know how the system is set up. So when you go down to that border, and you start singing like a canary, so to speak, thinking that's going to make your case better, the more you tell this guard or the officer, the more that's documented and more that's used against you. So, I mean, do what you want. It's your call. I'm not going to advise you either way. But I'm just telling you, when you do that, this is what happens. And of course, yes, there's ways to protect yourself from that trap. There's ways around it. Like I told you before, there are two individuals. They've both been charged with trafficking 3 times. They've never been convicted. And the guard tried to get them to make statements to that effect about what happened. And I won't tell you how they handled the situation, but all I will say is those 2 individuals will never need a waiver. I'm thinking, well, Ken, why is it they don't need a waiver? And they've been charged with trafficking cocaine 3 times. There's a reason why neither one will need a waiver. But I don't want to elaborate on that because it's going to help discount waiver companies, yada, yada. Because they watch these videos, just the cheap waiver companies anyway, and they try to glean info from it. And what I'm discovering, no, not just me, what we're discovering is they've gotten some info from us, but nothing that can really use per se, but they can try to like reverse engineer it. So it's not working, but yeah, they've gotten a few things from us, as we discovered, because we have ways of finding out. I won't go into those ways. But anyway, bottom line is, the minute that you admit to that weed smoking at that border, you're now inadmissible. In other words, you're now banned, but it's a lifetime ban. You might say, well, I thought I'd do a waiver, I can go in, yeah. But the reason why you're doing the waiver is because you're inadmissible, also known as you're banned from, BANNED, you're banned from entering the USA. So if you're banned from entering the USA, that means you are not allowed to enter. You're not allowed to enter because you admitted to the weed smoking and you admitted to the drug possession, but then people will say, well, they never found anything on me. Guys, you still don't get it. He doesn't have to find anything on you. If he's asking you if you smoke, you say yes, or he finds a dispensary card in your wallet, he's going to ask you that, and when you say yes, you're inadmissible. But regarding possession, yes, he didn't find it, but he's going to ask you, well, did you smoke it? You say yes. So if anyone in the audience, please tell me, how do you smoke marijuana without being in possession of it? And some smart aleck might say, oh, well, I was in the room and I inhaled. That still won't fly. Because when you're inhaling the vapors, you're in possession of the vapors. The vapors are going up your nose. So I know that's kind of a quasi stretch there. but you're inhaling the vapors, so you're still in possession, and you still admitted to drug use. Either way, we can put lipstick on a pig, we can put a wig on a pig, put a dress on a pig. When the day is over, it's still a pig. You still admitted to drug use. You need a waiver. You're inadmissible. You're banned, and you're banned for life. Not a one-time ban, you're banned for life. Now, when and if Biden legalizes weed, that's a different story. Legalize it federally. And so many people say to me, oh, well, it's legal in Washington State. So I'm going to have to be a parrot for this video. Washington State follows Washington State law. And I know because we used to enforce that in federal. Washington State is called the RCW, which is Revised Code of Washington. So yeah, Washington State will enforce the RCW, but CBP will enforce federal laws. Marijuana is not legal on the federal level yet. Who knows when Biden will do it? But as of right now, it's not legal yet. And we had one guy say, oh, well, the House passed it. That's fine. The House passed the bill. The Senate has not passed it, and Biden has not signed it. So it's not legal yet. One day, it should be, but as of right now, it's not legal yet. So what that means in simple English is you're going to have to do this waiver for the rest of your life or until Biden legalizes it or another president legalizes it. Now, if it's never legalized, you got to do this waiver for the rest of your life. You're inadmissible. You're banned. So there's no way around it. You voluntarily signed the statement. I know you're going to say, well, I didn't know. The border guard's going to say, well, you voluntarily signed it, ma'am. No one forced you. Which technically he did not force you. So it is what it is. So the way around that is a waiver. And again, the waiver packets have to be prepared a certain kind of way. A certain kind of other things have to be done with it in order to ensure the person gets cleared. It also depends upon the statement, like how detailed you were. The more detailed you are, the greater the chance of other things that could happen, which I won't go into. Like I said, I'm not giving a discount waiver companies any kind of assistance. But having said that, all the things that they can throw at you, we can get around. So it's just a matter of knowing what you're doing. And Batman's part of the waivers, they don't know. I know this. So again, I'm not going to make this boring video. If you told the border you or did rails, you're hooped. So, but don't worry, because like I said, we can get around it. So again, Ken Scott, Senior, U.S. Immigration Law Intelligence Analyst with www.usentry-waiver-services.com, and with 888-908-3841 or I'm just being distracted, or 604-562-8140. And again, almost forgot my name. So I'm going to sign off here. In the words of my colleague, live long and prosper.